Someone's calling me. Hang on. So I finally finished outlining the third act. So I think the last writing video that I posted, I was doing the first half of the second act. I then went to do the second half of the second act, and I will show you that right now. I started writing again today. I wrote the midpoint and the what's it called, the bad guys close in beat, and also the no way part 2 beat, which like happens to the B plotline, the B story, which is the romance subplot that I have in my story. I was a little bit confused when writing the midpoint, just because I was so caught up on trying to figure out whether or not the midpoint will be a false victory or a false defeat. I think it's a false victory, but then I had a couple of moments where I thought, oh, maybe it is a false defeat, but I don't think so. I think it's a false victory, and because that will determine the bad guys close in beat. So yeah, it took me a little bit to figure that out. But I think I did it, and I think it works really well with the no way part 2 beat in romancing the beat, so like the love story. I think I'm not quite sure where the no way part 2 beat is supposed to go in between, like, because it's like you have the falling in love beat, and then do you have the midpoint beat, or does that like kind of go at the same time? And then when it comes to bad guys close in, you have the no way part 2. I don't know, but it looks like it's kind of working seamlessly at this point, so hopefully that's you know, hopefully that's fine. This is decaf, by the way, because I've already had coffee this morning, and yesterday I don't know why, but I had 2 coffees and I was so jittery. I was basically like bouncing off the walls. So yeah, anyway. Okay, so I am a little bit confused. After midpoint and no way part 2, it's all is lost in the Save the Cat, and then it's Dark Night of the Soul, which makes sense, but then I don't know where to go with romancing the beat, because after no way part 2 it says that hang on, it says that I have to kind of put them together again. Yeah, the inkling. But like the reason, so the way I made No Way Part 2 is sort of as a reaction to well, the male's reaction to the midpoint, like what happened in the midpoint, I guess, kind of. And so I don't know, because it's like, because it says I have to have the inkling and then the deepening desire, and then maybe this time, and then it's and then we get to midpoint of love, and then after that retreating from love. I'm a bit confused. As to, I know that I don't have to have every single beat, you know, written down here, because I'm not writing a romance, but yeah, I don't know how to, like, I don't know how to structure it, I guess. So here's the thing, I just wrote the Inkling beat, and obviously everything, like all the beats, is sort of a consequence of the previous, or what I did in the previous beat, right? Now, I made a really big decision back during the debate, so like her reaction to what happened to her in the Catalyst, it was a pretty big decision, and I was kind of umming and ahhing about it for a while, whether or not I was going to get rid of that particular decision and make it, you know, make her get to that point another way. But I think I ended up keeping it because I think it makes for a good midpoint section in the A plot. And obviously because of that midpoint section in the A plot, it affected the No Way beat part 2 with the love interest, because it was almost like, not really a reveal, yeah, it was kind of like a reveal type of thing, if that makes sense. And I think the reason why I'm having trouble with the B plot line at the moment is because I don't know how to get myself out of that that hole that I dug for her, basically. In the Save the Cat Writes a Novel, she said that when it comes to the All Is Lost, there has to be like a death of some kind, even if it's not a literal death of like a character. There has to be like a death of your moral compass, or like a death of like friendship or whatever. And this one in particular is, I guess it would be a death of a relationship, and it's a relationship between the main character and her parents. So I don't like, and that obviously seeps into the love interest and affects that as well, because it's not a very good thing. And so now I'm like, I don't know how to claw my way out of that, and also I don't know if I want to make the parents complete villains. I don't think I want to do that, because I don't like, I want there to be, I want you to be able to see this story from all sides. I want to at least give the parents a chance, like not completely redeem them, but give them a little bit of a humanizing, you know, plot line at the end, I guess, if that makes sense. So yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna do that. I realized that I didn't do an outro for my writing my second half of my second act. Usually I would do this like in front of the bookshelf and my hair wouldn't be all wet, but I don't have that much time lately, because it's 4 weeks until our wedding and I have a lot to do. So we're just gonna do this with wet hair while I have my coffee. Basically, that section that I just did was pretty hard. And I don't know if that means that, like, I don't know, sometimes I think that like it's hard because my story doesn't have a solid foundation, and then I start to spiral, and then I start to doubt everything. But I don't want to do that. I just want to write it down. And so although I feel like it was pretty fast, like I did it pretty fast, I did the All Is Lost and the midpoint and the bad guys close in beats and everything like that, and also following Romancing the Beat and doing the B story and everything. although that felt pretty fast for me. I know that my outlining wasn't as detailed as the previous sections of the story, and that's okay. I'm just gonna be okay with that. I'm gonna force myself to be okay with that and not go back and try to re-outline that section and just keep moving forward, because I just want to get to drafting, to be honest. So yeah, that's sort of my takeaway from that. So after finishing the second act, I sort of just decided to combine it with doing the third act, just because I was on a bit of a roll, and I just felt like it needed to be written kind of at the same time, so I didn't forget anything basically. So that's kind of what I did. So I said that I kind of didn't want to change, like go back on my outline and like change things, because I just want to kind of get through it. But I did make one change. So I've been getting really confused because I've been going through the Save the Cat Rats novel and the, like, you know, following the beats and everything like that. And I've also been following Romancing the Beat. Now with Romancing the Beat, this the author of this book obviously is talking about how to write like a solid like romance, you know, like no, like the way she structures it is if it was an actual romance novel. Now with my story, the romance is the B plot, and so I got a little bit confused with all the beats because there's so many beats, and I didn't know how to structure it into the Save the Cat beat sheet as well. And I got a little bit stuck towards the like retreating from love section. So what I've done is, instead of having the No Way number 2 in my story during the midpoint of the A story, I've sort of just changed the heading, and I'm gonna tweak it a little bit to make it retreating from love. But I don't know if that's where it's supposed to go. I don't know. Am I just getting too caught up in like the headings of these beats? I think I am. I think I need to not worry too much about the headings and just kind of follow what the beat is actually talking about. I don't know. I'm gonna give myself a note and write No Way 2 / retreating from love, and then I will tweak it accordingly. So when it comes to the actual A plot, I don't actually know how I want everything to be resolved. I know how I want her mindset to be by the end of the novel. I just don't know how I want her like relationships to resolve. I mentioned there's going to be a strain with her parents, so like her relationship with her parents. And I mentioned that I didn't want to make them complete villains, you know, because people have, you know, reasons for doing things, and you know, no one's like completely evil. So I want to resolve it in the third act, but I don't like, it's not, I obviously don't want it to be the same, and I don't want it to be like all is well with them either. Does that make sense? I don't know how to do that. Again, I know I said that I didn't want to go back and like restructure everything, but I did anyway. I have moved everything back basically. So I went from like meet cute to then the midpoint, but I think I needed to put a lot more of like the inkling and deepening desire and everything, like, and maybe this time before the midpoint, and then the midpoint happens, and then the midpoint of love, and then retreating. I think that's how it works. I think that's how I'm doing it anyway. And I do need to like re-outline some of those beats, obviously, but I think that'll make it a lot easier for me to re-outline. But then, like, I was thinking, I don't know if this is right, but like, I don't know what I'm saying, but like before when I was trying to outline it, it made no sense because in the A plot I was sort of making her have a little bit of a downfall, and then when I would go back to romancing the beat, she was kind of having like an uphill sort of path, so it made no sense. So it makes a lot more sense now. I just need to sort of remember that I need to write the scene slightly differently when I'm drafting. Does that make sense? I'm all over the place today. So anyway, that was everything that I filmed. I don't remember what I said last, to be completely honest with you, just because I finished outlining a little bit ago, but I had to take a little bit of a break because I'm, like, as I keep mentioning in these writing vlogs, I am planning a wedding. Our wedding is in 2 weeks. By the time that you see this, hopefully I can get it up, but it'll be a week before our wedding, so I'm a little bit stressed, but I thought that I would just sit down and do this so that I'm not thinking constantly about everything that I'm forgetting for my wedding. I don't think I'm forgetting anything, but when I overthink it, I'm just like, ooh, did I remember that, you know? So I'm just trying to de-stress, and this is my way of de-stressing basically. So yes, I finished the third act. I don't know if I would say that it's as detailed as what I wrote for the first act and the first half of the second act, but I forced myself to finish it. In Save the Cat Writes a Novel, she talks about writing the finale in 5 parts, so that was kind of a little bit of a struggle for me. Like, it helped me visualize everything in scenes, but I was still struggling with kind of writing it out in detail. So I just sort of forced my way through finishing the outline just because I was so itching to start drafting, which I'm hoping to do today. We'll see if I can like sit still long enough to like write today. But anyway, I wanted to sort of reflect on the whole outlining process because this is pretty much my first time outlining. Like I mentioned in previous videos, I've tried outlining a story in the past, and that's never worked out for me. And I think my main issue in the past was the fact that I never had a beat sheet, basically. I never had that sort of structure to go off of. And so I think that Save the Cat Writes a Novel is a really, really good book if you're starting out with outlining. I think it's really helpful. It really breaks down all the little beats and just slowly helps you through it. So I'm glad I used that. I will say though, in this outline, I kind of gave up on outlining too much of the B story and the love interest story, because I think I was outlining it a little bit out of order, I want to say, because I did follow Romancing the Beat, and I think I did that out of order. So I'm just not going to worry too much about that, because otherwise I'll just sort of fixate on it and I'll spend even longer outlining, and what I really want to do with this story in particular is fast draft it. I just really want to get it down on paper, so that's why I kind of gave myself, I would say it's taken a month to outline the whole thing, which might be pretty slow for some people, but for me I think it's pretty good, especially because it's my first time outlining. I think a month is a good span of time to outline. I am gonna try it and fast draft in a month as well. I think monthly, like a monthly goal, I think is a good thing for me, because I think it pushes me enough that I need to sort of, you know, like I don't have time to sort of stop. I'm also just familiar with the whole NaNoWriMo timeline as well. Like I know that if I want to write at least 50,000 words in a month, I will have to do 1,667 words a day, I think, which I don't actually know how I'm gonna track that, because I'm gonna handwrite my book. So yeah, anyway, that's kind of my plan. Yeah, the reason I kind of wanted to just quickly finish up this outline is because I just want to get my story out of my head and put it down on paper. I've also watched a lot of videos on people talking about fast drafting, and I know I'm not, this outline isn't really fast drafting, but people say that if you do it in like a short span of time, your mindset and what you think of your story is going to be a lot more consistent than if you were to sort of spread out your writing process within like more than a year or two, you know, because you'd actually be surprised how much your story changes in your head the more you like spend time with it, I guess. So I think that's another reason why I want to fast draft, is because I have the story in my head and I know how I want it to go, and like in terms of like the mood and the vibe and everything like that, I know how I want that to go, and I want to get that down on paper basically. So that's kind of my plan. I don't know. I know I just said that I want to start drafting today, but at the same time I kind of want to wait until after the wedding. Just because I'll be able to focus more. But yeah, anyway, we'll see. That's all I wanted to say really. I just felt like it was weird because I had all these vlog clips and I didn't have like an intro and an outro for it, so here it is. Anyway, I don't know what else to say, so I'm gonna leave it there. I hope you're having a great day today, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.